sure you check out our new sponsor, The Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. All right, man. We back. Goodfellow Sports TV. Wanted to get to this video today at least, man. And I'm going to tell you why I don't believe the Houston Rockets is going to work with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. And it's going to be a lot of the predominant reasons are going to run parallel why it didn't work with James Harden and Chris Paul. And if you notice in the media that, you know, whenever it's a white coach, you know, like Mike D'Antoni, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's an offensive genius. And no, he's not. No, he's not. He's not an offensive genius. They got nothing nice to say about him. He's a failure. He's an overrated coach. Coaching is deeper than X's and O's, and he ain't got X's and O's. But before I dig a little bit deeper, it's Goodfellow Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Anybody new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. Share the videos, man. It's the best way to donate to the channel. But if you want to donate, that link's always in the description. But if you notice that when there's a Caucasian guy, they throw away genius, and you know, no, he's not a genius. You know, if he was black, he would have had to go to Alvin Gentry road at least. And people don't remember, I think Alvin Gentry first head coaching job was in the Pistons, late 90s, maybe early 2000s. He didn't get another shot until what, 20 years later, 15 years later, because he aligned himself with the Golden State Warriors and Steve Kerr, and he got a shot with the New Orleans Pelicans. Mike D'Antoni is the reason why the Rockets won't win shit. He was the reason why Phoenix didn't win shit. He's the reason. You know, he don't know how to make adjustment. He doesn't know how to execute in the half court. He just run and gun up and down the field. At least Mike Martz got the Rams a championship, or you know, I think he was the offensive coordinator when they won the championship. I could be wrong, but that's the reason it won't work, because Russell Westbrook. He doesn't know how to play off the ball. Or him and KD will still be together. See, KD, he know how to play off the ball. He can come off screens, he can catch and shoot, he can backdoor cut, he can set the pick, he can roll. Like, he's a complete offensive player. LeBron James is not a complete offensive player neither, because he hasn't shown the ability to play off the ball. He ain't shown the ability to set picks, be a decoy, backdoor cut, nothing. He need the ball in his hands. Same thing with James Harden. And the reason why James Harden is portrayed, you know, in the Houston offense and being tired and being wore out and them not being able to get back over the hump is because of Mike D'Antoni. He hasn't made the offensive adjustments. When he gets in the regular season, they might be tremendous. They might have 60, 63 wins. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's all about executing the half court. It's all about sets. In the playoffs, you're going to run into a team where you can't go 1-on-5. And an ISO is just not enough. A pick and roll is just not enough. You're going to run into that situation where you're going to have to call a set. And historically, it's Harden going on 1-on-5. Him driving. If he ain't getting to the foul line, he making a layup. Or he kicking the ball out. Or he kicking the ball out to a shooter. And guess what? They ain't what Russell Westbrook do the best. Westbrook is the same guy. He's the guy that break down the defense and kick it out to the guy. You know? They're going to need to learn how to run offensive sets to get Westbrook going off the ball. To get Westbrook, you know, coming off those Richard Hamiltons and Reggie Miller screens and being the mid-range assassin. Him coming off curls and getting easy buckets off backdoor cuts and, you know, getting them comfortable when it's favorite mid-range shot from the elbow. You know, running off-ball screens, getting them easy alley-oops or easy shots at the bucket. And Mike D'Antoni don't have the IQ. He's not an offensive genius. He's a retard as a coach. He's this team's biggest weakness. He is. He's this team's biggest. He was Phoenix's biggest weakness. Yeah, it's cute. You can win 50, 60 games with Steve Nash, but when the going got the tough, he don't teach defense. And Russell can defend. But if you don't put emphasis on defense, Russell ain't going to defend. If James Harden ain't defending, Russell ain't gonna defend. Eric Gordon, he ain't defending 2 playoff time. He ain't gonna defend. Mike D'Antoni is the single reason this shit not gonna work. And then people just think about coaching as X's and O's, offense, defense. No, it's about managing personalities. Brad Stevens found that out last year, where he didn't have enough kahunas to step to Kyrie Irving and to step to the rest of those veterans in the locker room and let them know, I run the show. I'm the head coach. You know, you play your position. And let Jason Tatum get his shine. He didn't have enough fucking testosterone. He didn't have enough bass in his voice to do that. Same thing with Mike D'Antoni. He supposed to sit down with Chris Paul, see what the issue was. Chris Paul was right. You know, they didn't want to tell you that. Chris Paul was right. They need to be running more half-court sets with Chris Paul orchestrating the offense and making it easier on James Harden. But James Harden is probably the selfish motherfucker that he is, excuse my French. He didn't want to give up the ball. He fell in love with being the point guard, and all the people look at the assists and they look at this and that. That assist don't mean you a good point guard. That's a stat. A good point guard is a floor general. A guy that's gonna make sure we get in sets. A guy we gonna make sure, you know, we run the right plays, we execute the right plays, make sure everybody in the position. A leader. James Harden ain't no leader. Because everybody 1-on-5 watching you do step back 50-footers and make them, but when the playoffs come, you can't make those same shots. Chris Paul was right. They need to be running more sets, especially in the playoffs, with Chris Paul having the ball and him feeding James Harden, making Harden get easy buckets. That's what should happen. And they're going to run into the same issue here, and then you add Westbrook to a team that's get up and down the floor and jack up threes all day. I'm talking about a dude that was a 29% three-point shooter last year. Come on. Remember they shunned Carmelo Anthony for taking 3 dribbles and taking the mid-range jumper. That's Russ's best thing. So you asking a coach that's been doing the same shit for over 20, 30 years to make an adjustment. No. If they were smart, they fire Mike D'Antoni and bring in another coach. If they were smart, they might go say, Phil, what you doing? If they were smart, they should have brought in Monty Williams at least. But they're not smart. They're not. This will not work. It'll look good in the regular season at times, but it will not work. And you know what's going to be fucked up about the situation? Is that James Harden is going to get the reputation for not getting along with guys. He didn't get along with Dwight Howard. He didn't get along with Chris Paul. He probably not going to get along with Russell Westbrook after a while. But that's not at least the first 2 is not his fault. The last 2 is not his fault because Mike D'Antoni, he didn't tell James Harden what he needed to do. And that's play off the ball a lot more. Let Westbrook or let Chris Paul at the time set you up and get you easy buckets. And then you won't have the reputation for running out of gas. Then you won't have the reputation of folding in big games because schematically now you're getting easier, high percentage shots because you're getting it off a play being called. But Mike D'Antoni, he's never perfected. His half-court offense back in the day was pick and roll, Joe Johnson, Sean Marion, one of them in the corner, Steve Nash making the mid-range shot, shooting the floater, kicking it out to shooters. And people shut that shit down after a while. Same thing with James Harden. It's either that pick and roll or it's going 1-on-5 and it's not going to win championship ball. Look at the Golden State Warriors when they won, or even when all them guys went out. It was about ball movement, backdoor cuts. It was about, not just the pick and roll. A lot of guys, Clay moving without the ball. Steph can move without the ball. The ball constantly moved, and it made it tough. It put a lot of pressure on defense, and eventually, you had to pick your poison. It just wasn't about the talent because the talent was in Miami, but Miami wasn't as lethal as Golden State was. Because they had unselfish superstars that didn't need the ball like LeBron or Dwayne Wade or Bosh. It was just a great offense that Steve Kerr mixed in with some Princeton style principles. It was some triangle principles and some other principles they tried to implement over there, and it worked for them. It's a system. Mike D'Antoni's system is getting up, shooting a fucking shot in 10 seconds in the shot clock, and that's the stupidest shit you can do in playoff ball. But it's just my opinion on it. It's Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Reach out to the email. All those links in the description. Information. Intro instrumental link there as well too. You want to know where the instrumentals come from. If you want to check out the channel out, Detroit-based channel, Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email once again. If you want to check out the channel out, Motor City Sports Talk. That's the name of it. And our intro instrumental links there as well, too. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow1Boxers, you 18% off the 100% all natural products, soaps and lotions, and much, much more. Website promo